Question number 1. Determine the single equivalent rate of discount for the discount series 20%, 15%, and 8%. Okay, so D1 will be 0.2, D2 will be 0.15, decimal equivalent of 15%, which is 0.15, and D3 will be 0.08, as indicated here, decimal equivalent of 8%. So 1 minus D1 would be equal to 1 minus 0.20, which would give us 0.80. Okay, so the number in here would be 0.80. Okay, now we go to 1 minus D2. 1 minus D2 would be equal to 1 minus 0.15, which would be equal to 0.85. So that would be the answer here, 0.85. Now 1 minus D3 would be equal to 1 minus 0.08, which would be equal to 0.92. So the answer here would be 0.92. Okay, now we have to calculate 1 minus D1 times 1 minus D2 times 1 minus D3. So what we can do is to first multiply 1 minus D1, which is 0.80, times 0.85 times 0.92. Now let's get the calculator and we put in 0.8 times 0.85 times 0.92. That gives us 0.5256. Now that is the product of 1 minus D1 times 1 minus D2 times 1 minus D3. So to subtract that from 1, we can make this negative and add 1, and that would give us 0.3744, which would be the number that goes in here, 3744. That's rounded to 4 decimal places. In this case, we didn't need to round. Now, we need it as a percent, so that would be, we multiply by 100. We come here and we multiply by 100, and that gives us 37.44. And we will go and submit, and it is correct.